So a new problem that I've been seeing recently with my skinny guys that is fascinating me, it's of getting in way too much protein while unfortunately lacking another very crucial nutrient for energy, performance, and recovery, also known as carbs. And in this video, I'm going to explain what I personally do to get more carbs in into my day for once again performance, energy, and recovery, and of course growth. Right. So in the last few weeks, I have noticed a super fascinating struggle with my skinny guys, especially in the DMs, that are actually getting in way too much protein. So first off, I just want to say I applaud your efforts for not only tracking your protein, but tracking your calories. That is huge because in my experience, in the last 6 months alone, 90% of skinny guys that struggle to put on muscle, size, and strength to get bigger and stronger, they are not tracking their protein or calories. So kudos to you. I applaud your efforts. That's awesome. Good stuff. You were way ahead of the game if you're already doing this. Now, just in the last few weeks alone, in the DMs, I have been seeing more and more skinny guys that weigh around anywhere from 140 to 160 pounds that are getting in upwards of 275 grams of protein per day. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so much protein and not necessary whatsoever. But again, I applaud your efforts for being able to get that much protein in, but it's not needed that much at all. So so now imagine doing some math here quick. Imagine if you back to the basics, that 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, right? And so is 1 gram of carbohydrates. So for a skinny man that weighs 150 pounds, that's getting in 250 grams of protein, just to keep the math simple here. Imagine if you took that extra 100 grams of protein or 400 calories of protein and traded that for 400 calories of carbs instead for energy, performance, recovery, and growth, right? Now, the next question here is, cool, that makes sense, but so what do you recommend for good sources of carbs? I'm glad that you asked that question. So for me personally, I'm going to share with you guys some things that I eat several times per week that are good sources of carbs and to help me absolutely smash the day to hit, not only to hit my numbers for the day, but to get a good amount of carbs in my day for energy, performance, recovery, and growth, and all those things. So starting off, first off here is going to be this guy of Annie's Organic Macaroni and Cheese. I absolutely love this stuff. I used to get it from, I initially saw it at, I believe, Costco or perhaps Target, one of the two. And Costco sometimes has this stuff in bulk with a variety pack of like white cheddar, the real aged cheddar, as well as the traditional Kraft macaroni, like just regular noodles, like the traditional type. Whereas for me, I personally enjoy this stuff the most. So on Amazon, I've been able to find a bulk 12 pack of these guys that I get probably twice a month at this rate, since I have this probably 3 to 5 days per week. It's so with this guy, to give you some quick math here, if you can see this. So where are you? So carbohydrates are in there. So you're talking to round up here, 50 grams of carbohydrates per serving, and there's 2.5 servings in this box. So it's 50 times 2.5. So 50 times 2, that's gonna be 100, and then add another 25. So that's 125 grams of carbohydrates in one box alone. That for me, I can absolutely crush this in 10 minutes, especially after a long, exhausting, brutal day, right? So a super easy source of good quality carbs. And for this, organic wise, this is referring to both the pasta as well as the sauce mix in here, organic wise. It has organic ingredients. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's way better than several other alternatives for this. And that's why I love this, because it's decent quality, it's organic, so life is good with that. Now for protein wise, I also add in a full can of Costco a big giant jar of Costco tuna fish. I think it's like 6 or 7 ounces of tuna fish or whatever anyway, but I'm able to get 50 grams of protein out of this meal with tuna fish. So not only is it super high in carbs, I believe I said 125 grams of carbs earlier with 50 grams of protein, and calorie wise, it's 750 calories for the box. So rock on. That's a fantastic meal for us skinny guys for protein, calories, and some good quality carbs for energy, performance, recovery, and growth. Next, right here too is this guy I mainly get at Target, but you can also get at Cup Foods as well, especially if you're in Minnesota. So pasta, I absolutely love pasta. So again, pasta, right? So this guy, I make chicken Alfredo pasta probably 3 to 5 days per week at this point. And so this guy, it's so per serving it's 200 calories, and I can't even see on the screen here, 42 grams of carbs and 200 calories for 2/3 of a cup of dry pasta, or if you want to look at it from a scale point of view, 56 grams per serving. And that's for and there's I generally do about 2 cups of this when I make one meal of chicken Alfredo pasta. And that's upwards of, excuse me, 42. So 42 times 2, that's 84 grams, round up to it's about anywhere from upwards of 120 grams of carbs for 2 cups of this. Throw that into throw that in a plate of some chicken breasts, some chicken tenders that I personally enjoy from Costco, and you're looking at a meal of 1,000 calories, for 50 grams, actually 70 grams of protein. So this has 7 grams of protein as well. Times that by like, I don't know, two to 2.5 ish, and then add in some chicken to that. So this meal, I've done the math on this a while ago, back when I initially started tracking calories a long time ago. So this meal with this chicken Alfredo pasta is like 120 grams of carbs, 70 grams of protein, and 1,400 calories of awesomeness. So another fantastic meal for us natural skinny guys. High calories, high protein, high carbs, good quality stuff. Rock on. This is also a very both of these are also very budget friendly. I think so. One thing I love about pasta too is that super budget friendly. I think this entire box costs like $1, maybe $2 max. It's probably closer to $1 to be fair. And every time I go to Target to stock up on this or Cub, I get like 5 boxes of this. It lasts me a week, 1 to 2 weeks. But like you can get a fantastic meal for growth, that's very budget friendly with pasta. Good stuff. Love it. I love my pasta when it comes to easy calories, especially for performance, energy, and recovery from carbs. Next, so I can't show you this one, but rice is also a fantastic source of good quality carbs. For me, I generally have 1 cup of raw uncooked white rice. Then obviously I throw it in my rice cooker to cook it, and that turns into like probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 cups of cooked rice. But regardless of all that, I believe it's around 40 grams of carbs for every quarter of a cup. And since I use 1 cup, so that's 4 servings. So 4, 8, 12, 16. That's 160 grams of good quality carbs and upwards of like 600 grams. Correction, 600 grams. 600 calories. There we go. Of good quality calories from just white rice alone that I either add into beef tacos or what else, or a chicken and cheese quesadillas that I get from Costco, as well as I also used to eat that with chicken by itself too. So another fantastic source of carbs for a great meal of 1,000 calories easy just from white rice. Good stuff there. Next here is another source of pasta in a form of I personally like to eat spaghetti out of this. So nutrition information here. You have 40 grams of, I don't know if you can even see that or not. Not very well. So 40 grams of carbs, rounding up here, per serving with 180 calories. When I sometimes make meatball spaghetti out of this, I will use probably half the box and get a good 12 to 1400 calories out of this with upwards of 150 grams of good quality carbs from this stuff. So to answer the question of what are some ideas to get some more carbs in your meals throughout the week for energy, performance, recovery, and just absolutely crush it throughout the week, especially for busy lifestyles and stress levels are higher than average. All three of these guys, pasta is just, especially these two. So these two I have probably 3 to 5 days a week, easy. And so those are fantastic sources of good quality carbs in the form of pasta for a grain that I personally consume several times per week, and it's also very budget friendly. Super yeah, very budget friendly for that, which makes it even better for if you're working with a tight budget that you don't have to spend crushing. You don't have to like break the bank on getting your carbs in. The next source of carbs is going to be fruits and vegetables. So full transparency here. I absolutely suck with eating fruits and vegetables. In fact, so this morning is Sunday. I'm making this video this morning on Sunday morning. I personally, so I don't have it with me right now. I probably should have, but I personally supplement with JACKED greens that I put in my hydro iron flask container, and I drink that in the morning to not only help me stay hydrated in the morning, because I also suck with drinking enough water throughout the day. That's one of my downfalls. That's one thing I struggle with as well. To get my JACKED greens and with that to supplement with organic fruits and vegetables to be able to get a serving of 20 organic fruits and vegetables in one little small like supplement. Essentially pour that in some water, mix it up, drink it up, and you're good. That's what I do. Aside from that, for like whole foods wise with fruits and vegetables, the main thing that I used to do is have an apple per day. I haven't done that in a while either. I know I suck with fruits and vegetables. We've already discussed this, but that's just me, and that's why I choose to supplement with that instead. Because for me, I've noticed for myself that in like the last like upwards of a year at this point, anytime that I go out of my way to stock up on various different fruits and vegetables, I literally end up just throwing all of them away in like 2 weeks, because I never include them into my meals, and they get rotty, moldy. I toss them. So for me in that context, they end up just being a waste of money, unfortunately, and that's just a habit that I need to learn how to break to get some more fruits and vegetables in my meals. That's a problem I have to figure out, but that's what I personally do from the other spectrum when it comes. So carbs and central are fruits, vegetables, grains, and starches. I think there's one other one too. I forget. Whatever at this point. You get the idea. So my main source of carbs is from grains / pasta, and that's generally what I consume a lot throughout the week to help me with energy, performance, recovery, to give me the energy I need to absolutely crush the day with my essential tasks with a busy lifestyle that is also very, very, very common with not just skinny guys that are on the go. They have busy lifestyles. They have a very rigorous jobs that either require a lot of walking or a lot of heavy lifting. So that's how I excuse me, I have a lot of hiccups this morning. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the last question that was actually asked this morning by one of my followers on Facebook is, what do I recommend? Correction. How much carbs do I recommend that you guys consume every day? So, long story short, without rambling and give you a massive story with this, I personally like to aim for about 200 to 300 grams of carbs per day. I found that for me, as well as other skinny guys that have busy lifestyles on the go, and stress levels are already higher than we would like. I found that 200 to 300 grams of carbs is a good, very doable, a very realistic number to shoot for. If you get more than that, awesome. If you get a little bit less than that, whatever. Not the end of the world, but 200 to 300 grams of carbs per day is definitely a good number to shoot for. to help again. So this number is also very, very dependent on lifestyle, stress levels, how busy you are, how active you are. All of those things go into account with the recommendations for carbs in general. To give you some context with this, one of my mentors that used to train very high level performance athletes at the CrossFit level and other things with that at the NFL level, he was giving them recommendations of up to 700 grams of carbs per day. So to give you an idea of how much carbs that these high level athletes are getting in, but again, that's also their sport, their lifestyle, their job. They literally are like paid to train all day long, so that's what they do. So oh my god, a very different lifestyle and context with that. But just to give you a big zoomed out point of view with what some of the top level athletes are doing. Not to compare yourself with that, but that's kind of to give you that overall spectrum of things as to help answer the question of how much carbs that you should get. Once again, I recommend about 200 to 300 grams per day, especially with the busy lifestyle on the go. When stress levels are higher, and maybe perhaps that your sleep quality has been sucking lately, all the more reason to add more carbs to your meal plans. And to give you more context with this too, a couple of years ago when I was doing one-on-one coaching with one of my mentors, when I was super stressed out, overwhelmed with lots of things going on, he gave me the recommendation of 450 grams of carbs. And this was also during the time when I started learning how to track, and that was about 1 to 2 years ago. And I hit that number maybe twice in 3 months. That was my own fault. And that was, again, when I was just starting tracking for the first time, like 2 years ago. And that was also before I even learned what are some good sources of carbs. And that was literally back when I was just eating like apples and stuff and like potatoes, so potatoes in general are super low in carbs, which is super like crazy to me after I figured that out. That you have to eat a lot of potatoes in order to get a decent amount of carbs of that. And that's when I learned the superpowers of pasta, rice, and then there's quinoa as well, which have way more carbs in them per serving, which are way better sources of carbs in comparison to potatoes, which that was a fun lesson learned a long time ago. Anyway, but yeah, long story short, I was not able to hit that number, especially as much as I would like. Therefore, I recommend, especially starting out with skinny guys that have super busy lifestyles, stress levels are higher, active lifestyles, working out a lot. 200 to 300 grams of carbs is a good place to start. Upwards of 450 once you in the event that you're even more active and you have more stuff going on, stress levels are high. So essentially, the higher the stress levels, the more carbs that you want to consume to help shut that cortisol levels off and to get your body back into recovery mode for energy performance, and overall well-being. So without going into another rant with that to keep this video somewhat shorter, that's my spiel with that. So as a recap, to circle back to the beginning, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds as a natural skinny guy, shoot for 150 grams of protein. You definitely don't need upwards of 250 or 300 grams of protein. That's massive overkill. Instead, substitute the extra 100 grams of protein for carbs, for good quality carbs, for energy, performance, and recovery to actually crush your goals and to be able to hit your essential tasks throughout the day without exhausting yourself and draining yourself, on top of having better quality sleep too. So that's my recommendation with that. With the good quality sources of carbs that I've already shared with you guys that I personally consume several times per week, that are budget friendly, taste amazing, and help to complement awesome food for our growth of high protein, high carbs, high calories that are decent for you, and life is good. So that's all I got for this video. I'm pretty sure that I covered everything. If not, whatever. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Get those carbs in, keep crushing it, and I will see you next time. Until then, JB out.